Hello, this is one of the most important friends that I have for so many years. We met when he came to my country town to do his exchange program. He was 16. He's Lennard. He's from Germany originally. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm great. And tell me, what made you decide back then to do an exchange program?
Oof. I was 16 and I couldn't wait to get out of my house, to be honest, or my parents' house.
And why did you decide to come down to Brazil?
Initially, when I requested for an exchange, my option was everything but Brazil because I had been on a short-term exchange a year before,
Mm-hmm.
and that was not the best experience. So
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid of having the same experience but for a longer time.
Yeah.
But then the options I was given were not my favorite as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then ultimately, they gave me the option to Brazil, and I said I'll try again, and it was a great choice.
Yes. Do you remember how we met?
I think it was due to one of your students who was in my class, and she brought me down to her English class,
Yeah.
conversational class, and this is
Yes.
how we met.
Yes. Maria Elena was the one. There's an interview with her on the channel as well. We became best friends instantly because he was and is very funny, very sarcastic, very cheeky, and he would come to my school every day. There was something very special that happened during your exchange program. You met somebody very, very special to you. Can you tell that story?
Yes, I did. So during Christmas or before Christmas time, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
there was a trip around Brazil to get to know the north of Brazil with various exchange students. And on this trip, I met a girl, which nowadays is my wife. We've had a long-term relationship for several years, but at this point, we both live together here in the Netherlands.
So, how long have you guys been together so far?
So we started dating in 2009, so this
Wow.
is our 13th year.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Do you think that having done an exchange program has changed your view of life?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, given the story I just told, it has
Mm-hmm.
changed my life completely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it was a great experience. I learned a lot. Sadly, I haven't been able to come back to Brazil because since then I always went to Mexico to
Mm-hmm.
visit my wife and my wife's family at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and my family at this point. Um, but yeah, it was a great experience. I met a lot of people. I've been able to meet some of them here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of these people that went on this trip
Mm-hmm.
with us to the Northeast, they came to our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, I think it has enriched my life greatly in terms of friends and in terms of experience.
Yeah. What is it you do now? What's your job?
At the moment, I am at the University of Rotterdam here in the Netherlands,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing my PhD there. So I'm a PhD candidate.
Wow. That's so nice. Most of the people on the channel, they don't know me in person. You had a chance to know me really well in person. What can you tell them about me, about meeting me in person?
It's very interesting to be around you. So my experience from you is you don't have to go to people. You let people come to you, and you're probably one of the most involved people in your village.
Mm-hmm.
You know everyone. You know every story. Uh, you know really what's going on. You are very sarcastic and humorous.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from you back then, I learned that you should read multiple books at the time because I don't know. Until then, I haven't done it. But you told me that you were reading a couple of books at the same time because you might get bored of one, so you can pick up the other one. And why wouldn't you do it? And
Yeah.
nowadays, I do the same.
I have also introduced you to series that you love up until today.
The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I remember we watched the pilot together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Back
yeah.
then, I didn't really get it, but nowadays, I mean, I've binged it probably
Yeah.
twice already.
And what is your fondest memory about Brazil?
Oh, definitely my wife. Quite honestly, yes, this trip to the Northeast was a unique experience. It's such a beautiful country.
Mm-hmm.
It's so big, so wide,
Mm-hmm.
so different. It
Mm-hmm.
changes from state to state.
Yeah.
The nature you have is
Mm-hmm.
not comparable with anything, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, yes, the people, and they also change. It's funny how they change from state to state.
Yes.
And within the town I lived, in your town,
Mm-hmm.
probably just being around you,
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of information on what is going on in the town, which I otherwise wouldn't have. I think it was great. I was able to see and meet people that weren't in my class
Yes.
at school, and I wouldn't have otherwise connected with. So this was
Mm-hmm.
always fun. It was a good experience. I felt integrated through your
Mm-hmm.
school.
I can tell a very funny story. His host family lived very close to my school, very, very close. So he would come to my school after his day at school, and then he would tell me, "Okay, I'm gonna be here up to 2, and then I'll go home to sleep for 2 hours, and then I come back again around 5 or 6, so we can talk a little bit more." I never forget. He's very, very intelligent and very, very smart. He was wise beyond his years at that time, and now he's much more. I've learned so much from him. He gave me some advice. Once he told me that I should value the things that I've created for myself, being an English teacher, having a school, how nice I was to people. I never forgot that conversation. People are very curious about Palmitau. How would you
Mhm.
describe Palmitau in your perspective?
It's a small town,
Mm-hmm.
very small town,
Mm-hmm.
rural area of Brazil. You
Mm-hmm.
can probably walk from one to the other end in 20 minutes or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but surprisingly, for the size of the town, there's a lot going on, which
Yeah.
back then I took for granted. Nowadays, I'm surprised that
Yeah.
there was so much you could do actually
Yeah. Yeah.
in Palmitau,
Mm-hmm.
although it had only so few people living there.
Mm-hmm. And he told me that when he would go back to Germany, he would leave the party phone with me. But he lost the party phone, I think, during the last party that he went to. We became friends. He never wanted to speak in Portuguese with me. He refused all the time. He said, "Not with you." How have you changed from them to now?
Oof, I hope a lot less naive than I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been a long time. I think I have grown up a great deal,
Mm-hmm.
um, made some experiences that are
Mm-hmm.
very valuable as well in that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, though, the core is still the same, just a lot more mature.
Mm-hmm.
Still not there completely, but
Yeah.
in the process.
Of course. Of course. And also because you're still very young, so you have a lot to learn. You have a lot to come your way down the road yet. What do you like about your life in the Netherlands?
What I like about the Netherlands the most,
Yeah,
I don't know. Living here is really easy. People are
yeah,
very nice.
yeah.
People are very open,
Mm-hmm.
very international, at least in the city I live in.
Yeah.
I'm curious about foreigners.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of going on, although this
Mm-hmm.
city is not as big as it presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
You can cross the city by bike probably in 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes.
Yes.
So it's a very nice lifestyle here. It feels like you're in a big city and there are all these opportunities and all this
Mm-hmm.
services and experiences you can
Mm-hmm.
make, but
Mm-hmm.
you're actually not in this
Mm-hmm.
gigantic city. So there's a great overview to it, which I really enjoy here.
Yes.
and I'm not sure if I have experienced this somewhere else. I really enjoy it. It's a
Awesome.
nice life here.
Now I have a $1 million question. When are you
Oh
coming
wow,
down to Brazil again?
that's a very that's probably more than a million. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to come soon. I probably would have come, but I have limited vacation, and my wife wants to
Mm-hmm.
see her family, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
I have to go. Well, I have to. I want to go visit them as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a part of this family,
Mm-hmm.
so this really restricts us in terms of traveling. We're always saying, yeah, the next trip we don't go to Mexico. We should go back to Brazil
Mm-hmm.
because it has been such a long time. I mean, my wife knows a lot of people there as well, and she wants to go back too.
Mm-hmm.
But when choosing between vacation and seeing your family, it's very hard, right? The
Of
last
course.
2 years in the pandemic, we haven't seen them.
Of course.
So you really want to visit them. And this makes it difficult to actually set a time.
Mm-hmm.
We are constrained. Hopefully, at some point, we're not that constrained anymore, and we could
Yes.
travel also to Brazil for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no
Nice.
definite answer, to be honest.
Nice. How many languages can you speak?
I would say three. My Portuguese at this point is more like Spanish pronounced in Portuguese.
Uh, three.
Um,
So English.
Three, yeah. English, Spanish, and German.
Right. You speak Portuguese. I know you can speak Portuguese really well.
It has been
Well,
a long time since I
mm-hmm.
actively practiced it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that usually when I speak and I get the opportunity, I say some sentences, and the moment I speak them, I'm like, oh, damn it, that word was Spanish. And I know how it goes in Portuguese, but then in the conversation and the lack of practice.
How do you see yourself in 5 years?
I would, yeah, where would I see myself? Hopefully independent, job-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So I have flexibility in my life that I
Mm-hmm.
greatly appreciate in my life. Hopefully this enables me to come back to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully with a family.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe living back in Germany again. We are currently thinking about moving back because my
Mm-hmm.
contract here ends in the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, maybe owning a house or something, or being in the process of owning a house with a garden.
Yes.
That's a dream of mine.
Yes, that's good. Now we're going to go to the rapid round game, the game that everybody loves. Traveling is,
Enriching,
languages are,
important,
marriage is,
difficult,
the most beautiful word in Portuguese.
saudade,
Everybody says the same thing, and I think it's beautiful. Friends are,
valuable,
life lessons are,
hard,
my puppy is.
a demon.
Okay, now you can ask me the questions.
My favorite food is,
Rice and beans.
love it, mine too at this point. If I could go on a trip, I would go to,
Europe,
if I wouldn't live in Palmitau, I would live in,
New York.
the person I love the most is,
My family, my children, my wife, my parents.
that's a great answer. They should be the three of them.
Yeah.
The book you gave me first to read in Portuguese was,
I don't remember.
it's
No, you
a
do?
fairy tale. Chapeuzinho Vermelho.
Chapeuzinho Vermelho, the Red Riding Hood. Yes. I
Yes,
didn't
yes, I
remember,
remember it
man.
reading.
I
Yes,
didn't
we were reading
remember.
them in your classroom,
Yeah, that
in your
was a good
breaks.
one. I remember that. To learn Portuguese, you have to start with a children's book.
Exactly. I
Just,
remember we had these little booklets and we were
yeah.
reading them together.
Yeah. They were from my son, right? I would get them and
That
give
could
them to
be.
you to read. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that could be.
Well, unfortunately, we got to the end of the interview. And for every guest, I have a sentence, a quote, a takeaway. And for you is and always will be, you have a friend in me. No matter what, whatever you need me for, I'm going to be here for you. You are one of the most intelligent people that I've ever met at 16. You are one of the strongest people that I've ever met. You are very resilient and you are very caring. Although you always forget my birthdays and I don't forget yours. I'm very proud of who you were. I am proud of who you are. And I'm proud of who you will be. And I'm really happy that our paths have crossed.
Yes, me too. It has been great to have you in my life, to be honest.
Thank you for doing this interview. Telling your story on the channel for me was awesome. Thank you for taking your time for doing this interview with me. This was one of my very best friends ever. This guy's from Germany, but he lives in the Netherlands for now. I hope you liked it as much as I did, because this interview was really special because he knows me too well. He knows my wife too well. He knows one of my children too well. It was really special to me, and I hope it was for you as well. Thank you. See you next week. Bye bye. Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Hello, it's Rod's friend here, Gino from Real Everyday English. Sorry for interrupting your video. I just want to make a quick recommendation that you subscribe to Rodrigo's channel. He's an amazing guy, he's so humble, he's so dedicated, and he creates absolutely fantastic content. See you people soon. Bye bye, God bless.